Hi guys, hope you all are doing good. So in the previous videos we have covered the lecture part about the selection sort. So in this video we will understand the selection sort C programming line by line using very easy words. So without any delay, let's begin. So I have all written the C code for selection sort. Let me explain it line by line. So first we're gonna see our first line. So first is our hashtag include stdio.h. So we are using this header file because it allows the functions like printf and scanf. Without this, we can't display output on the screen. So this is very important, this header file. So on the next line, we have void selection sort of parameters of int array and int n. So we created this function with these parameters because array means int array is stores the array value and int n will stores the size of the array. So in this selection sort, we have created some integers. I mean integer variables. I, j, minimum index. I have written with min index. So and temp, which is known as temporary. So these four variables. So the first one is I. So I will displace the outer loop and j will displace for inner loop. So on we have made index. So this stores the position of the smallest element and temporary. So this temp use it for swapping. On the next line we have for loop. So this for loop starts from I equal to 0 until it continues until n minus 1. So it gonna gives I plus plus means I is incremental. This loop moves from left to right. In every round we place one smallest element in its correct position. So now we are moving to the inside the for loop. So we have minimum index equal to I. So assume that current element is the smallest. So the current element is the smallest. For example, this is our array. So 64, 25, 12, 22 and 11. Suppose 64, assume 64 as the smallest element. At first, minimum index points to the 64. So this is what. So on the next line, we have for loop again. So j equal to I plus 1 until j is less than n, j is incremented. So we are checking all remaining elements. So first we assume that first index is the smallest element and checking the remaining all elements. So we search for the smallest value. So this is what about this for loop which has j variable. So on the next one we have condition. If array of index j is less than array of index of minimum index. So we are going to use this condition for comparing the current element with the smallest element for until we found so far. So if a smaller element is found, we are going to update the minimum index. So for example, we have this array 64, 25, 12, 22 and 11. So 25 is the smallest than smaller than 64. So we're going to update the minimum index. So on the next line we have minimum index equal to j. So this gonna stores the position of the new smallest element. So this process continued until we find the smallest element in the unsorted array. So on the next line we have temp equal to array of index I. So we are going to store the element. We are going to store the current element in the temporary variable. So on the next line we have array of index I equal to array of index minimum index. So we are going to put the smallest element in the correct position. So on the next line we have array of index with minimum index equal to temporary. So complete the swap. So for example, let us take this example only 64, 25, 12, 22, 11. So the smallest element in this array is 11. So after swapping, we're going to get 11, 25, 12, 22 and 64. So now the first position is sorted. So the same process repeats for remaining elements. So now we are moving to the, so we have discussed about this selection slot function. Now we are moving to the main function. So we have declared int main. So this is where the main function gonna execute starts. So we have declared our array of elements 64, 25, 12, 22, 11 with size of int equal to 5, which is size of the array is 5. So we have declared this selection sort here. So this function is declared here with parameters of array and n. So now we are going to print the array. So we are printing the slotted array. So this is what about the selection sort. So let us run this code. So we have successfully run the code. We have no errors. So we have slotted the array. We got 11, 12, 22, 25, 64. Let us check. So 64, 25, 12, 22, 11. So 11 is the smallest. So 11 and 12 and 22, 25, 60. So we have got the slotted array. So this is all about the selection sort. So I hope this lecture is clear to everyone. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. So thanks for watching and see you guys in the next lecture.